Hello, my name's Gerald Michael Flint. Well, everybody else knows me as Michael, but Gerald's actually my first name. Anyway, wanted to tell you about Flint Farm and Ranch. And more importantly, you're going to hear me talk about the whys and the hows. But right now, I want to really tell you how we got here. And then later on, we're going to be doing these chapters on the whys and what makes the difference. But first off, I bought the farm about 26 years ago. It was just a loop. And next thing I know, I was doing other things and had it leased out. Fast forward 20 other years, and next thing I know, I ended up having a situation where I didn't know what was wrong with me, and I had what they call a rare tick bite, and it was called alpha-gal. I was number 5,000 in the world, or in the United States, I'm sorry, but I was 1% levels. So example, I have 600% over 100%. So I kept going into trauma one centers and et cetera. And next thing I know is they can't figure it out. And I get blessed to end up being shipped to Mayo Clinic. That's another story. And Mayo Clinic, the same people did the COVID testing protocols and came up with that, after several times diagnosed me with it's called alpha-gal. The interesting thing, it made me vegan for about 5+ years. So I cannot touch, taste, etc. any animals that have a hoof in it, and more importantly, I cannot have any of their derivatives of them, like cheese, which I miss a lot. Any dairy. I can't wash dishes. I gotta be close when it's cooking at the time. Now it's kind of demolished a little bit, diminished, I should say. But that said, but I had to, at the time, I didn't know what I needed to do, and I needed to become chemical free. And becoming chemical free, I came to the farm and I realized we've been row cropping this for death every time for 50 years, a lot of chemicals and etc. And I decided to stop that. And I said, I'm going to try to do something different. I didn't know what I was going to do. So next thing I know, what I started to do was, let's see what I got to work with. The soils were dead. They had no organic matter, no pH, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It was as blonde can be. It didn't have a smell, couldn't get a spade in the ground, couldn't even do it with a sledgehammer. So I started immediately cleaning it up, also putting on some cover crops. Didn't have the right size tractor. Next thing I know, I start to continue to do row cropping. Cover crops that had anywhere between 28 to 32 seeds in them of different varieties, that would be turnips to radishes to Sudan grasses, to try to get the compaction and also to try to bring in some organic matter. Also then brought in some ag lime nearby the stone quarry. Also ended up bringing in some chicken manure, different types, from those that are pellets, those were fresh, etc. I just kept doing whatever. I didn't know what else to do. I tried everything. So that goes on. That was from 2019 till about 2022. And then I started realizing it still wasn't getting there. And through the grace of God, ended up started attending some seminars and classes with Greg Judy in Missouri, and he introduced me around to others. And next thing I realized that the only way this thing was going to turn around was with the grace of trying to get livestock on it. Met some of our other agronomists like Greg Downey, also say Greg Braun, and others that have helped me rethink it. So we started putting some livestock on. Ended up mostly cattle at the time, and we started to rotate. We still didn't have the fences built, so we were building fences as we were moving them, which was probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. Besides that, and also putting in water lines, about 6.5 miles of put water lines in. And now we have probably over 60 some paddocks throughout the farm, 300-acre farm, about 100+ acres of pasture, and then another 25, 30 that are what we call silver pastures, that are woods, etc., that have been cleaned up. And and allowed grasses, native grasses, to grow back. So the cows rotate constantly. We don't let them stay very long. Next thing we know, moving forward, we ended up bringing in pigs, pasture-raised pigs, meat sheep, rams, etc. Also, we've done with poultry, chicken. We've done eggs, but the raccoons ended up getting rid of them for me in a day and a half. They knew what day I went back to the hospital, so they figured that out. Next one is that so now working with Logan Gray, we started working with some meat chickens here and very aggressively growing that, and that's going very well. So we have now a diverse livestock, and now it's really taking off. We ended up being able to do some other things, like my cousin Benny Hasford, he does bees here. Now we're looking to maybe add on some other types of animals and etc., and also get into more breeding of the sheep and doing our own chickens a little bit more aggressively, because everything is pasture raised, everything is nutritional. All my inputs are organic. I don't let anything in here because I can't handle it myself. And the last thing is that we've in the past been certified organic, regenerative, and grass-fed. Most of those I've let them lapse because the cost is significant on the cost of meat. In today's prices, it's too high, in my opinion, so I don't want to just burden with the consumer to add that on, which really, when I already practice that, and in fact, I go beyond their requirements. You know, at this time is that I do think that what we're trying to do here is a little different. You'll see that I'm all about two things. One is that nutrition and taste. So the nutrition of the soil affects the nutrition of the animal, and also the fertility of the animal. And we were starting to get only maybe 23%. The last round we got 75%. And then we threw in the bull, we got 92% fertility. Cows are happy, very happy. They have a good time. Same thing with the pigs, same things with the chickens, the same things with the sheep. They all kind of roam around together. Who knows? They play together. I've got to chase them together, and they chase me. I have happy hour with them, and they make me laugh. And so, but one of the things that our focus is, again, is also, we believe that we're trying to create almost like a vitamin animal because of the uniqueness of the soils and improving of the soils, and then the animals eating those soils, improving the soils, but also improving them, and they have to walk. They get a lot of exercise. They have to go to the water. They're not just standing still. You know, they get to eat a different, every pasture has a little bit different formula. So they get a different green smoothie every day, throughout the year round. The other thing is we're always constantly testing our water. Our water is very limestone driven. There was one reason that this was a very big tourist attraction in its day in the 1900s, and for this mineral and sulfur water. So they get very clean, very tested water. It's very significant. They also get things like a mineral sled. It's 20 trace minerals that they can pick, choose, and from. It's very interesting how that works out. By the way, if that soil and that ground and that paddock is low in boron, guess which one they eat? Boron. They are amazing at picking their supplements. So it's a very big investment on our part. It's a pain in the sled, moving it around constantly with them. And the same thing we kind of do with the pigs and sheep, and to a lesser degree the chickens. But going back into that, our ultimate goal is to try to create this nutritional cow or nutritional animal, that vitamin cow, that vitamin animal, that can help people that may have had a health scare. I'm not saying we're going to fix it, but it's you know what you're going to get. You know what inputs it's had, and so it's going to come in back to you. We periodically test the meat for nutritional values. We can't test all of them, but we can see a sequence of this. We can see how it improves. Also, more importantly, we wean our cows a lot longer. We wean them maybe up to about at least almost a year, and which makes a big difference because that's when the actual fat molecules are created. The other thing that we also, I think is a little different, that I think is helpful, is that mom is not stressed. Usually as soon as she has another calf, she has another one because she's in natural heat, so we call them Irish twins. That's just kind of like my sister and myself, so as they call it. But again, our focus has been from, it's not for everybody, but we say people that have had some health scares or health concerns or more nutritionally driven, then give us a try. And we also are constantly looking for improvement. We also focus on small chef-owned restaurants. We've been doing some in Chicago. We've had it tested by world-class beef sommeliers in Argentina, which we scored 8.5 out of 10 against the world's best beef. But we're also trying to keep it from a price point that's affordable. So that combination is very tough these days. So we now started out with bundles. We're going to be selling directly to the consumer and to chefs in bundles. And then soon after you do the bundles, you can add on select cuts. Not there yet, but we'll be soon. We're going to be doing the greater Madison area, Indianapolis, and Bloomington to start. And ultimately, we plan on being from Louisville, Kentucky, Cincinnati, and up I-65 to Chicago. So this is a little bit about what we're doing. I've been blessed to have my son involved. My daughter helps out periodically. My cousin, nephews, others, you know, and then it's also other friends that have been around, numerous. And so again, you know, we're very blessed that I said is some of my first customers were those that were people that have had cancer and got referred to us by oncologists, nutritionists. I constantly work with nutritionists at Mayo and getting concepts and ideas. I'm also being very active in at MIT right now on a lab on sustainability. So I got asked to be involved in. So we're trying to push the motor as much as we can, envelope, as they say. And but you'll be hearing more from us on a more regular basis. Please reach out. You know, let me know if there's something that's, you know, you have some thoughts, etc. But again, we're not for everybody. Our focus is more on the health of the animal, the health of the soils, and also to help me heal myself. So I appreciate everyone and thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you. And I will tell you that please give us a try. It's a little different, and plus you might get a laugh or two. Thank you.